Hi and welcome to the Zoom Programmer channel. Today we are going to focus on the user registration, right? So we have put this form design together, and from this form we are going to navigate, or we are going to navigate all other operations from this form. So this is our menu right here. So let's go ahead and go to the database so that we can look on the table which we want to work on. Remember, previously on the login page we have or we had the table limited to two columns only. So I have improved the table and I've put this full name, age, gender. All these are the personal details for a person who is going to log in. So we want to register the user with his full name, age, gender, address, and so on. So this is the columns of our database table. And let's go ahead and design our form for user registration. So let's go to project and to add our new form and add Windows form right there. So and Windows form right here, and let's keep it as user registration like this. So let's go ahead and add this form, and after adding this form like this, let's go ahead and try to design it in a better way. So let's go ahead and change all the properties right here. So let's change the form properties, the form border style from sizable to fixed dialog like this, and the text which will appear on the form will be user registration like this, right? And the default window location is center screen, and from there we want to remove the maximize and minimize buttons. So let's go ahead and choose from here and choose false from the for the maximize, and for the minimize we are going also to choose a false. So we will have this form as uh, a fixed dialog without a minimize or maximize button, but with a close button only. So let's go ahead and put some controls right there so that you can register users. So first thing which you have to do is to put the button, the text box I mean. So firstly, let's pick a label, and this label will help tell us what should be done. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's put 6, and let's try to change this to right to full name, and let's go ahead and change the next to age. So it will be age, and the next will be gender. This one will be gender like this, and the next one will be from the gender. We want to pick the address, and from the address we want to pick the phone number, right? Let's say phone, right? And from the phone number we want to put a username like this, and from the username we want also one label for a password. So let's put it as password like this, and this is sorry, the spelling is wrong, so let's go ahead and change the password to password like this. I think that's better. So let's go ahead and increase the font of this. So let's go to the font, and my favorite font style is Tahoma. So let's go ahead and pick Tahoma right here, And then after picking shawarma, we can enlarge a little bit like this so that it will be visible. Alright, so that's it. Let's arrange it on our form like this, right? And after arranging this, we will be able to work with it. So let's go ahead and put something like this. Align the vertical spacing should be equal. So let's put it like this, right? So from there, what we need to do right now is to go and check if every row or every column of the database is represented. So we have full name, age, gender, address, phone, username, and password. That's it. So that's exactly what is on our form. So let's go ahead and pick some text boxes. Text box. All right. We want for the name, age, gender. Instead of using the text box for gender, we can use a combo box. So let's go ahead and pick a combo box, right, and put it for gender. All right, and go ahead and pick a text box for the rest of the controls like address, phone number, username, and password. So for some reasons we can will want to confirm the password, so let's copy this label and paste it right here and change this to confirm password. For the meantime, let's leave it and proceed with the simplicity and the ease of this tutorial, right? So let's go ahead and arrange these controls. Let's arrange them. Let's arrange everything. After arranging them like this, let's go ahead and uh, give the size to this. All right, so let's try to enlarge this to something like this, right? So we've enlarged it. So let's just pick the size is 300 by 20. So let's go ahead and highlight this one, 2, 3, 4, and say 300 by 20 instead of 100 by 20. Let's put 300 by 20 like this, and for this you can simply drag it like this, right? So let's go ahead and change the font size for these text boxes. All right, the font size, I said I prefer Tahoma, so let's go ahead and pick Tahoma right here, and then enlarge the font to 11 and click OK. And from there we want to move this down a little bit so that we can easily enlarge this. Let's change it to mode line and enlarge this text box for some reasons, right? So let's go ahead and tell this text box. All right, let's go ahead and want the scroll bars for this, not none, but want the vertical scroll bars so that it can have a vertical scroll bar so that one can scroll up and down if the text is a bit much more than the space which is on the text box. So from there, let's go ahead and reduce this to here, and let's go ahead and change the name of the text boxes. So the first text box is right here, text box 1. So let's go ahead and change it to name text box like this, and this to age text box like this, and this to gender combo box right like this. And for this combo box we also want to add some excuse me, we also want to change some properties, or want to add some items, right, for this combo box so that one can choose either male or female. So we can go ahead and add for the first time male. Let's put male like this, and secondly female like this. So these are two genders which exist. Let's click OK. So we have put some items for this combo box, and this, let's go ahead and change the name to address text box, like this. And for the phone number, let's go ahead and change to phone text box, like this. And username, let's go ahead and change to username text box, like this. And for password, it will be password as well, text box, like this, right? So this is what we need to do. So let's go ahead and pick a button, right? This button is button 1 and button 2, right? And want to increase the sizes for these buttons, right, like this. So let's go ahead and put it in like this, the size like this again. And want to change the font size for these two buttons to some sort of let's put it to 10 Tahoma. Okay, let's enlarge it a little bit. Let's put it to 11, like this. And we can put it to bold. Let's bold this font, right? Let's bold it. And okay, so that's it. Let's change the button text to register, and let's put this button to cancel, like this. So that's it. And the button name will be cancel button, like this. And for the register button, it will be register button, like this. That's it. So this is all about the design for this user registration form. So we are done with the user registration. Right now, let's go ahead and put the code behind these buttons. So let's go ahead and go to the login, and you want to pick something from this login. Let's remove this the pinned toolbox, since we no longer need them. So let's go ahead and copy this connection string. So let's just copy the whole declaration right here and go ahead to the user registration. Let's double click our form, and after double clicking our form, we have to put the declaration right here. Let's enlarge it a little bit, right, like this. I think it's visible. So let's go ahead and import libraries above. So let's go ahead and say import system.data, and go ahead and import the system.data.sql client, like this. So that's it. We've taken care of this connection. So after that, let's go ahead and declare right here. This is the register button. What do you want to do? We want to register our user. So let's put a comment and say register user to the database, user to the database, like this, right? So let's go ahead and declare our query. Let's declare doom query as a string. And what do you want to do with this query as a string? And you assign the value of that string to insert into login info, like this. And you can put this bracket. what we want to enter is a full name, right? Age, right? And in gender, from gender we want the address. From the address we want the phone number, which is phone. From the phone we want the username and then password lastly. So that's it. This is the query, and we want the values to be values will be at a name, at age like this, at gender like this, at from gender we move on to address, and from there at phone, from there at username, right? This is the parameter for username and password lastly. So that's it. These are the values. So this is our query which we are going to work with right there. So you can have a look. I have reduced the size and so that anyone can see this query right here, right? So from the query, what do you want to do? We write here want to go ahead and use this as in our statement. So using this is the actual operation of inserting a record. Using we want to use the cmd as new sql command, right? This sql command, what do you want to do? You want to put the query inside and initialize the connection, right, like this. So after initializing the connection, let's go ahead and hit this enter button, and the connection and this query will need the parameters. So we say with cmd dot parameters, and you can say dot add, right, something like this, and say dot value assigned to, right. Let's just go ahead and copy for another 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 4. Let's put 6 of them like this. Excuse me. Let's just do the right thing right here. Let's not do shortcuts for some reasons of tutorials. So let's go ahead and add for the name. We know that the parameter is a name, right, like this, and this is an SQL GP type dot varchar like this, and the value will be name text box dot text. That's it. So this is the first parameter. Let's go ahead and paste this and change from name to age, and the data type will not be varchar since it is an integer in the database, and this will be age text box, right? And then let's go ahead and paste another one. Let's just copy these two and paste them right here. We have 4 of them right now. So this is for gender, varchar, right? So it will be from gender combo box like this, and this gender go from gender will go to address, and for this address will be from address text box like this, right? And from this we go ahead and copy 3 of these, so we have made them 7. So address, and from we change the age again, this right here, the parameter from age to phone, right, like this, and this will be font text box. And from there we change this gender to username, right? And this will be username text box, right? And we move on to this password. Move to password text box right here, right? So we are done with these parameters. So let's go back to the database and check if we have done the right thing. Phone, username, password, that's it. So let's go ahead in this form. We want to execute this parameter, and what do we want to do right now is to say cmd dot execute none query like this. So like what we've done right here is we have executed this none query, but instead of end, let's say execute none query, right? So we want a message box to show that the data has been saved. So message box get show and say user registration was successful like this, and put this exclamation marks, and you can put the heading of user registration like this. And from there we want the message box to be button to be okay, and the message box icon to be information, right, like this. So that's it, message box information and message box button okay, and this is the actual message. So what we have done here is we have forgotten to declare or to start our try catch block so that it will handle the exception. So let's say try and then open the connection.open, and then after that we will copy this. Let's cut this, let's cut it and paste it right here in our try block, and catch the message you want to show in the message box dot show like this, and want ex.message, right? That's the first, and let's put operation error like here, right? And the message box button will be okay, and message box icon will be error like this. So that's it, and finally we'll close the connection. Finally, connection close, right? After execution of everything, we close the connection, right? We are done by this user registration code. So after that, let's go ahead and test this. Before testing, let's try to do something like clearing all the textbook's content. So we double click this cancel button, and this cancel button will simply say name text box right here dot clear, right, and we'll say edge text box dot clear. We'll go ahead to address text box dot clear. We'll go ahead and clear another text box for phone dot clear, and for username text box dot clear, password text box dot clear like this. So that's it, and we want to set the focus to name text box dot focus. That's it. So this is all you have to do right there. So let's go ahead and change this password from plain text to a marked a masked text. So let's go ahead and change this to use system password character. Change it from false to true, right, like this. So let's go ahead and go to the parent designer. Since we say we are going to navigate to every operation from this form, so let's go ahead to the administration and go to user registration right here. Let's double click it, and after double clicking this, we just want to show right, let's enlarge it. We just want to show this user registration form. So user registration to show like this, right? We have shown the user. So let's go ahead and click on the start to run our project and test it. It's executing. So let's wait a little bit. Right, it has started. Let's put the admin password 12345, the password which we were using since before, right? And we are on the second form. You can see we have this clock which we have designed in the previous video, and you can see we have our menu. So let's go to the user registration, right? You can see this user registration pops up in this. So this is our workflow. So let's go ahead and register a user like this and put the age as 26. Let's choose the gender from here. Let's choose as male, and address will be 8 item 8 recent Warren Park Harare, like this. And the phone number will be 0779 141 14, like this. Username will be Zeru. Password will be a secret password, like this. And let's click register and see if we have done something properly, right? Fail to convert value from string to, right. Let's go ahead and check our parameters. We have declared the parameter in some way, and it's saying we should have done it in another way. Is failing to convert from string to integer. So let's go ahead and see where exactly. Okay, this address should not be an integer but varchar. That's the error. And this phone will be varchar, and this password should be varchar, not an integer. All right, that's it. So let's go ahead and run again. Want to test it until it runs as expected. So that's it. Let's go ahead and put our admin right here, and the password. Let's log in, and after logging in like this, let's go ahead and pick this user registration right here and register the new user like this. And the age, let's put it to 26, and gender will be male, and the address will be 80. Right, right, and the phone will be right like this, and the username will be like this, and my secret password. Right, I've done. Let's click this register. You must declare the password. This was declared wrongly, so let's go ahead and remove another S from the password parameter. You can see we have this password right here as password with double S, but above right here we have the password. Excuse me. Right, we have the password here where is the password, with three S's. So let's remove one and run again. Alright, admin, and this admin again, not admin 1 2 3 4 5. Let's log in, and this time it will work as expected. Right, let's go ahead and go to user registration and put some details, and the age will be, let's say, 26, and the gender will be a male. Address, put the same address. Instead, let's put this state. We send Warren Park and say Harare, and the phone number, right, like this. The username will be, and the password, my secret password. Right, let's go ahead and hit register. You can see user registration was successful. So we have successfully registered our user. So if you want to see if you have achieved it, let's go ahead and see from this database. Let's go ahead and right click and say select 2000 rows. We want to see if the user was registered and if the information was inserted successfully in the database table. You can see, of course, we've done it. This is the second row, which is on our database. So this is all you have to do when you want to register a new user, right? That's it. So let's go ahead and from here, excuse me, from this, let's go back to user registration, and want to test something. And if you want to clear, just click cancel. You can see everything goes away. That's it. So this is all about this tutorial. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, to the Sim Programmer channel. Thanks. Have a nice time. See you in the next video.